Say hello to Darren Till right now. Darren, how are you?
Hello, mate. You okay?
I'm doing great, Darren. I really appreciate you taking some time. I know it's been a whirlwind for you, so thank you so much.
Don't worry, mate. Always, pal.
I know this was a dream for you. You were very vocal about that. Now that it has happened, did it exceed your expectations? Did it live up to the expectations? How would you describe the experience of fighting in your hometown now that it's over?
Just a memorable moment. I made history in a great career that I'm going to have. That's going to be one of the most memorable memories ever. And, historic history was made the 27th of May, 2018.
Were you able to smell the roses, enjoy the process? Obviously, when you're fighting, at fight week, it's all very intense. But were you able to enjoy the fact that you had accomplished this?
Yeah, I've enjoyed every moment of it, good or bad. I'm just happy that I got it done, and especially against the guy like Stephen Thompson. I didn't fight anyone, but in my opinion, after the champion, the best striker fighter in the division.
Obviously, there's a lot to talk about as far as the fight is concerned, but could I ask, as far as the weight cut and the weigh-in, I know you are dealing with something personal, and I'm not going to pry. Is everything okay now? Is your family okay? Is everything all right?
Yeah, everything's sound. I did have a problem, but just quickly whilst we're on the subject, no excuses for not making weight. I did not make weight. I apologise one last time to Stephen Thompson and his team. I'm embarrassed and ashamed by it, but move on from things. I'll always face adversity, good or bad. There is definitely no excuse in the world for not making weight, and that is totally my fault and no one else's. So that's that.
Is it true that you offered 100% of your purse to Stephen and his team?
Yeah, listen, I've done everything to make the weight. Like everyone already knows, I have a big weight cut. I just wish, there's definitely no excuse, but I just wish some of these people that talk about your weight cuts who've never done one in their life could experience one, because it's the worst thing in the world. And as I said, it's only down to us. But yeah, I said to my coach when he was on the phone with Mick Maynard, I said, just offer him 100% of my purse then. If it's not looking like his team want to take the fight. And my coach said, okay, I'll see what I can do. So it ended up being obviously 30%, and I had to weigh in on the day of the fight. But if they would have accepted the 100%, that would have been fine with me. And
will this change your stance on continuing to fight at 170? Do you feel like you are now just too big for welterweight?
No, I had the same amount of weight to cut as when I was fighting in Poland against Cowboy, and I made 170 there. It's just, obviously I got caught up in a few things that night at the weight cut, and I wasn't able to make the weight. I did struggle. It was really hard that night. But no, I can still make welterweight. Just going to have to be more on it. As I said, it's a mistake from my part. It's going to have to be more on it now. Lighter, way before. So no matter what happens, I always make weight. So, that's what I'm still fighting at welterweight.
How difficult was it to have a cap that you couldn't go over 188, so you couldn't fully, you couldn't fully rehydrate the night before? Did you feel like that was an added stress?
Yeah, that was the hardest thing, because I didn't know where the fight would go on. And as soon as when I'd missed weight, I started hydrating again. I went way past 188. I went to 191, 192, I think. So the morning of the fight, I had to go to the gym and train for 45 minutes hard to get back to 187, which I weighed in at. So that was, that was quite hard to do, because I didn't really want to do that. But you know what I mean, mate? You got a fucking soldier on, haven't you? You just got to get through shit.
Do you want to address what happened, or would you rather keep that private?
Listen, as I've just said earlier, I could say anything in the world happened here,
right?
And there's still going to be a cunt online who's going to say, well, it's not an excuse, and I totally agree with that cunt. So yeah, it was a family problem. It wasn't the most ideal situation for me, cutting weight and also having to be worried about something else. But I didn't make weight. it's not no one's fault. It's not my coaches. It's not, you know, my family members' problem. It's not no one's problem but my own. And it's me who didn't make weight, and there's definitely no excuse. So, you know, that is what it is.
Have you had a chance to rewatch the fight?
I've watched bits. I think when I get a chance, I will watch it. But I've watched just like little clips and highlights, and that's it. I'm just still trying to get my head around, you know, actually what's happened, everything, because UFC Liverpool's now over. It's been there and happened. It was amazing.
The reason I asked was, do you know, like, decisively which rounds you won, that you felt that you won, no question about it? Obviously, the fifth, there's no question.
I listen. I know I've been looking. I don't usually do this, but I've been watching a few what like the analysts and that have saying, and I know people since they've gone back and watched the fight have sort of been saying it could have went either way. Listen, I do think I won the fight. Yeah. From what I've seen, people saying this and that, these type of people don't. You know, I was even watching on the UFC Fox desk. What, like, I know Michael Chaser or something and Bisping, like, was saying, why didn't Wonderboy kick as much, or why didn't Till do this? This is high level striking. This is the thing, right, Ariel? Let me tell you. Every single person, every UFC fighter, whatever, all expected me to go in there and get wiped clean by Stephen Thompson. Now what happened, the aftermath is, they're all so fucking shocked because I went in there and I didn't get wiped out, and I hung with the most hardest person in the division to deal with because of how good he is. And everyone's sort of like, well, he won the fight. You know, he threw more strikes, you know what I mean? So that's how I'm seeing it. But I did control the cage. Yeah, he did throw more strikes, but most time I nullified it, I defended, and when I threw a strike, you know, I did hurt him. I just think what tipped it was in the fifth, you know, the knockdown. And that, but the thing with Stephen is, if you look at all his fights, he moves so well. He can get away from people so well. Every time I had him against the cage, I was sort of cutting his angles off for him, you know, and making myself a bigger person than what I already am to make him feel small in there. And then if you're watching the fifth, you know, you can see sort of accepts the fact that the left hand's coming and turns his head, and that's what, you know, gets him at the back of the head and he drops. But listen, right, it was a close fight. It really was. It was so good to be in there fighting against him. And after the fifth round, I still didn't have him figured out, and he didn't have me figured out. It was a chess match, like I said it'd be. And yeah, I even said to Mick, because I heard that Stephen Thompson's dad said, well, we should do it in our backyard in South Carolina or somewhere to see what happens then. Okay, this is not like, if he wants to do that. So I messaged Mick straight away, and I was like, if they want to take it to Stephen Thompson's hometown, let's do it as well. I'll gladly go there, and I think it'd be around the same fight again. It's just, you know what I mean. I've just dealt with the number one, and in my opinion, the most trickiest in the division. I've just dealt with him, and every single person counted me out and expected him to run rings around me, and he didn't do that. Do you know what I mean? So that's my take on it. It could win either way. It definitely could have. People can look at it from which way they want. They can be biased and look at it my way, or be biased and look at it from Stephen's way. But either way, mate, it was a close fight. And as Dana always says, you just can't leave in the judge's hands. And on that night, I got the fight. If Stephen would have got the decision, I wouldn't have been bitter about it. You know, and I don't think he's bitter. I just think all these people who don't know a lot are bitter. And,
yeah.
You know,
go ahead.
I've seen a lot of tweets on that. I am not on Twitter, but I've seen like a video, a lot of fighters and that tweeting, and you know, I got no hard feelings, but that just shows me their weakness. That you know, I see a lot of them hating on me and that, and when I see, because I'd never do that. You know, when Mike Perry lost his fights on a run, I would never, you know, kick a man while he's down. I would never ever do that in my life, and some of them are trying to do that to me. I know a lot of them talking about the weight, and that's my fault. But even like with the fight, and to me that just shows me their weakness, because I would never do it to them. Yeah, fighting's fighting, and you know, when there's bad blood here, there, and everywhere. But it just seems to be like, you know, they all just jump onto Twitter no matter what and just start talking all kinds of crazy shit. And you know, that's their right, their opinion to it. But it's just, to me, it just shows a big weakness. Like, just fucking worry about yourself, will you? All right, yeah, give an opinion, but to me, it just seems like a lot of them are hating on me. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm not asked, and obviously they've got their opinions, which they're entitled to. But you know, it just seems to me like a bit of a vicious opinion. It doesn't seem like a norm, like just an unbiased opinion. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Do you feel like a lot of your fellow fighters are jealous of you because of all this attention and everything that you're doing?
That could be it. That could be not. But most of the fighters who I've seen tweeting have got more attention than me. They've fought in the UFC longer. That they've had harder fights and this and that. So I don't see what it is behind it. And I think 90% of them who are tweeting aren't even in my weight class. So what are they tweeting about? Why are they hating on me? Maybe it is because I'm getting a bit extra attention. I was able to bring the number one to Liverpool and that, but it's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. And I'm not fazed by it. Sometimes I just think to myself, when I was seeing the stuff, I was like, that shows their weakness, not mine.
Darren, we had Stephen on the show earlier, and he wasn't bitter, and he wasn't taking shots at you. The only thing he brought up that one could be, I guess, I mean, he talked about the weight stuff, but really he was as respectful as it gets. He talked about the attacks to the knee and wondered if those were illegal, that you were targeting his surgically repaired knee. Were you specifically targeting that knee to try to re-injure it because you knew that he had surgery on it multiple times?
No, I didn't know. As I said, I don't study fighters. I don't study what happened or anything. And I didn't even know Stephen was on the show tonight. Like, obviously, I'm just in my own little world. But two things to say. I know Stephen's not hating. He is the nicest man I have ever met in my life. He's such a fucking good guy. Like, he smiles too much. He needs to smile less. Like, my best friends have said to me, how much of a nice guy is he? And I'm just like, yeah, he is. It's not him who's like bitter than him because he never got the decision. As I said, it could have went either way. If he would have got it, it would have been the same. Yeah, obviously he needs to address the weight thing because he didn't do anything wrong. It was me. But the knee thing now was in the first. I knew that I needed to keep my front leg like bouncy for him because his front leg is like a jab when he throws it to the body and to the face. So I knew that I needed to keep him thinking about like my leg. So I started throwing a few like straight kicks to the knee and to the thigh, and I threw one, and like he just dropped his face and he said, I think he said something like ooh, and I thought, ooh, he's hurt there. So I tapped it a few more times and that, but it was sort of just to keep him on edge about my front foot as much as his, because I was. The biggest thing I was worrying about going into this fight was that front leg, because it's like a jab. It's so wickedly fast. So after I'd done that, he was on edge. I was on edge. For 5 rounds, we were on edge. And people were saying it's not the barn burner we all expected. I knew it was not going to be the barn burner. Like, obviously, I come out and said I was going to finish him, but I knew that wasn't the case. He expected the aggressive Darren Till. There was no way he was getting that with such a striker like that, such a top-level striker. Like, honestly, he just had me brain puzzled for the 5 rounds. I probably had his, and for me, it was one of the best fights ever. It was just so tricky to just get past each other.
I know we're short on time. Do you have time for 3 more questions, Darren?
No, I'm fine, mate, Thomas. I was sick today. I lost my voice in that because I don't know what was up with me, but I've met and I've had the tablets and that's all. I'm okay. You can crack on.
Okay, cool. I really appreciate that. Thank you. The entrance is one of the greatest entrances of all time, and you switched it up on us. You usually, you don't come out to that song, and you came out to Sweet Caroline, and everyone loved it, and the clips are just amazing. When did you decide to switch it up, and why did you pick that song?
Well, if you say it's one of the best entrances, I appreciate that. Thank you. I hope it is up there. I just want
incredible.
Obviously, provide the show, yeah. But I just knew with where it was, the type of people Liverpool people are, and that type of song gets people, in the mood. I just knew it was the right thing to do, and I hope it was. I think I watched me walk out once before on YouTube, and it gave me goosebumps again. So, if it's up there being one of the best entrances, and the crowd was amazing. Like, before I was jumping in the octagon, I just had to look around and be like, oh, it's fucking crazy, you know what I mean? I seen all, it was just mad. I can't believe it. I feel like I really picked the right song to come out to.
Oh my God. When you walk out and you hear everyone singing like that, you must feel on cloud 9, right?
Yeah, the walkout definitely, I feel unbelievable. Like, I hope to do that again.
Could you explain, like, what does that song represent for Yanks like myself, as the English would call me? What does that song represent in England or in Liverpool, to be exact?
Obviously, I'm just young, so Neil Diamond's before my time. But I remember listening to it when I was a child with my dad and that, and he got me into all the old school music like that. But to me, from what I've seen over my years of being on this earth, is what it represents is just people sort of come together. Like, it's like one of them songs that you could be in a bar with someone you don't know. That song comes on, and next minute you're hugging each other and your best mates, and you're buying each other drinks. That's what I think it represents. So I thought to myself, in an arena like that, they're all coming to watch me, the hometown boy, against one of the best fighters in the world. No matter who they are, they're just going to look next to them and just start cheering and chanting, and that's exactly what they did. So that's what I thought it represents, and obviously it proved on the night that's the type of song it does represent. You know, whatever. Do you know what I mean? I don't even know the lyrics, to be honest. I just know that Sweet Caroline. That's it.
And Darren, there seemed to be a lot of mutual respect between you and Stephen, and there was a lot of embracing. And that's not something that we typically see from you. Why was that the case? You know, you mentioned the Fox guys; they were critical of that afterwards as well. Do you feel like there was too much of it?
Yeah, I know people are going to, because I'm not sitting here and saying that no one can be. They're not allowed to be critical. It's just they don't understand top-level striking like I do. And that's the truth. That's not me being cocky or arrogant, but I've just proved that they're not getting what it is. It's not this type of thing where I can just run in and be this big aggressor against a guy like Stephen. And Stephen knows he knew he couldn't do it with me. So it was sort of like, yeah, okay, let's see whose high-level striking beats whose. And as you've seen how close it was, so that's it. Just that it was a lot of respect and touching, embracing, and you know, he miss, I miss, and we're sort of like, yeah, you missed that, I missed that, I'll get you back, and that's what it was like. So, you know, it definitely was high-level striking. So, you know, people are going to be critical, and they're entitled to be, but it's maybe because they don't fully understand top-level striking. That's my opinion on it.
And what symbolism to have you win the way in which you won on that stage, and then literally the next day, the man who built that market, Michael Bisping, retires. I was just curious. I saw you pay tribute to him on Instagram, which I thought was very cool. But I'm just curious what Michael Bisping means to you, and if you had any memories. Like, did you grow up, you know, dreaming of being Michael Bisping and doing what he did for the market, and of course becoming champion? You are now the new Michael Bisping, right? So I'm just curious what he means to you.
No, I grew up watching Michael, yeah. Never wanted to be like him. Obviously, I don't want to be like anyone else. But for me, the highlight of his career was when he beat Anderson Silva. That fight for me was amazing. When he won the title, everything he's done it all the right way. As much as he's like Marmite, I know a lot of people don't like him, and a lot of people love him. But it's, you know, at the end of the day, he says what he means, and he means what he says. So, to me, I sort of thought, did he plan to retire the next day after I just fought? I don't really know, but obviously I'm going to pay tribute to someone like that. He was the face of MMA, but just with you saying that, you know, I'm probably the new Michael, I don't feel like I am. I don't ever want to come out and be like, yeah, I'm the face of MMA for England or whatever, because I don't feel like that's not right. That's not justice to all the other people who are out there fighting their hearts out. Yeah, some of us do get the attention and the spotlight more, but we're all there together. So for me, you know, all my fellow Brits in the UFC, guys and girls, and all the other ones on the lower level shows, we're all a face. Just some of us get a bit more attention than others. But I'm definitely never going to think I'm the face of anything. As I said, just for myself and that, I just want to be a great. So I'm definitely not the face of British MMA, and never will be.
I respect you saying that. I would respectfully disagree, but I appreciate your humility. Did you watch Liverpool FC on Saturday? Were you able to watch, or did you ignore that? Were you too focused?
No, I watched some highlights. I was a bit busy with things and that, but I did watch some highlights. Yeah, it was a good match. Obviously, we lost, so we needed the win, and then, you know, I was gutted for the Molly. She lost. You know, I wanted to win on her debut. You know, it's not nice to lose, especially in front of your hometown. So it was like it was 2 losses for Liverpool, and then, you know, it would have put the icing on the cake if I would have lost. So I'm glad I was able to scrape a little bit back for Liverpool. But, you know, I was gutted Liverpool lost, and I was gutted that Molly lost. But But, you know, shit happens. She'll come back from it, and definitely Liverpool will definitely come back from it as well.
And let's end on this, Darren. And again, thank you so much for the time. Dana White says Las Vegas next for you. You said you'd love to fight in Anfield. You want to sell out a stadium. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think your next fight will be in America?
Hopefully, yeah. That, you know what, that would be amazing to fight in America, to fight one of the American guys in the division. If Dana says Vegas, then that's where it's going to be. I don't know if I'm you know, well known enough in England to sell out a stadium. I know I said it, and it is obviously a dream of mine. And to be honest, when you say a dream, you can't just think it in your head. You've got to say it out loud and manifest it, and that's what I definitely do. So we'll see. I'd love to talk. I've never ever in my life sat down and had a chat with Dana. I don't ever feel the need to just, you know, sort of do what gets said and that. But yeah, we'll see, mate. Yeah, I wanna fight again. I wanna fight soon. I wanna see what's happening. I know Stephen said he needs to check his knee and that, but you know, you've got all these experts out here saying this, saying that because it was in Liverpool. If anyone wants me to come to America and fight Stephen again, Stephen definitely wants it. If he's not injured, I can do that as soon as possible. That rematch, you know. Obviously, there's other guys there I want to fight as well, but you know, let's show all these critics that it's going to be another one of this. It probably could be the same fight. Definitely going to be the same outcome. I'm going to win again. Maybe I can be a bit more aggressive and knock him out this time. We'll see. So that's what I'm thinking.
Who's at the top of the list? Is there one guy that you feel like makes the most sense next?
If it's not Steven, I think Usman or Masvidal, because Usman's in a good position because he's just beat he beat Damian. I don't know what's happening with the RDA Colby Woodley situation. I think Colby beats RDA and then I think he fights Tyron. If Tyron's even coming back, I don't think is Woodley even coming back to fight. I know he said it, but I don't think he is. So it's weird because the champion's ready to fight and he had like 4 fights last year, so I don't know why there's an interim already. I don't understand that. He got injured, but he did have a lot of fights, so it's sort of weird right now. So even if they don't put me against Steven or Usman and one of them guys get to go with the interim, as I said in the post-fight presser, I'm not bothered. Maybe they deserve it more. They've fought more people, so I'm just sitting back. Let's fucking have it with anyone. I don't care. I just want to I want to train my bollocks off, and I want to fight hard and show that I'm worthy. That's what I want.
Never change, Darren. You are a delight, my friend. I love this humility. I love everything that you're saying. You have this like amazing mixture of humility and bravado. It's amazing. It's very unique. So I really respect it, and I'm very happy that you were able to realize your dream of fighting in your home. What a scene it was. I wish I could have been there myself, but so happy that you were able to come on for a few minutes. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate and try not to celebrate too much. I see on Instagram you're having a good time, but don't go too crazy, okay?
No, no, I'm just going to have a little week of for seeing some friends and family and taking care of people, and then Monday back at it to see where the next journey takes us.
I look forward to it. Enjoy the donuts. I'm sure you'll have a couple in celebration as well. Thank you so much, Darren. I can't say we'll have donuts now. I can't say we'll have donuts. That's true.
I never made weight. So if I say I'm going to eat shit, people are going to hate on me. So now I'm going to have some chicken.
Okay. All right. Enjoy the chicken, my friend, and get well soon. Thank you so much.
Bye, mate. Bye-bye.